welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Vibes on Vibes show. I'm your boy Frankie Prince, Mr. Good Vibes, Positive Vibes and everything nice. Manze, hope you may subscribe to my YouTube channel. The last content that we posted, ile Melodics, manze, hope you have watched, comment, share. Let's keep the conversation going. I'll see you. So, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a guest in studio with me, anaitwa Moses Rono. So today tunaenda kuongelea about remnants. Are there remnants kwa hii society? Hii generation yetu venye vitu zimechange. Are there people still loyal to God na mienendo ya Mungu? Ama ni kila msee kusema ameokoka but mienendo haifanani. So here with me I have an amazing gentleman mwenye ameamua he'll stick to the salvation and I count him as one of the remnants. Karibu sana to this show.
Thank you very much.
So Rono, kindly introduce yourself, tell us what you do, even though make you introduce your name. So tell us what you do in this generation, or rather in this life.
Thank you. My name is Moses Rono and I'm a student here at St. Paul's University, and I love the Lord and I'm blessed and saved of the Lord, and I'm doing computer science, which is what I love. I love computers very much, and in this generation I am blessed to be a Christian and having been born again, and that is something that I bless the Lord for.
So just a quick question, Rono. Christianity, you have said you born again. Is it because your parents showed you the way, ama it's a personal decision that you made to go born again?
If I can be frank with you, to be honest, I was born and raised up in a Christian family, and at first it was because of my mom. My mom is a staunch Christian, I can say, and she is the one who used to take us to church because she was the usher, and I guess from there that is how I grew up in church. But around class 6, class 7 there, that is when I found the light, the real light now, and that is when I gave my life to Christ, and from there I've been working out my salvation in fear and trembling.
So it's amazing to see a young person like you still stuck to Christianity and salvation. So personally, do you believe kuna remnants in this generation? As it's a perverted generation, let's not hide that. Do you believe kuna remnants, those people who have remained, they are still fighting for God?
Yeah, I strongly believe that indeed there are remnants in this generation, and you see from remnants, these are people who remain after a great destruction, and maybe for example a storm or something. If you can go back maybe during the days of Noah, after the flood, there were remnants, Noah and his family and the animals who went there too. So I strongly believe that in this generation there are remnants, despite the fact that we are still in a storm of perversion. There are still remnants out there. People who are holding fast to their faith, young people who are doing ministry. We have a lot of young people actually who are very, very active in ministry. So yeah, there are very many people who are, the remnants are not few, we are many, I can say.
So there you have it. Kuna gang yenye imeamua manze, sisi tunatumikia Mungu, sisi tunaendelea kutumikia Mungu na tuta fight this battle despite being in a generation of, in quotes, usherati. You already know. So Rono, I have a quick question. You do read the Bible, right?
Yeah.
And Jesus alienda Cana and he turned water into wine, right? Is that a justification that people should take alcohol?
That's a very good question and a tricky one. But what I can say is it was a wedding. It was a wedding and it was a feast. And the wine, it was a celebration to them. But now this is wine, and then we do not take it and mistake it for alcohol that people are taking now and in the name of having fun. You see that it was the wine was significant at that time and in that feast, because if in a feast there are three things that I can say. We have food, we have drinks, and we have ladies. That is from even during those days, those are the things that were there. But the fact that Jesus turned water into wine is not a justification that we should, in fact, be indulging in such drinks and saying that it is that Jesus gave us a leeway for us to be drunk. Even the Bible says that do not be, you are being drunk, but to the Holy Spirit.
But let me ask you another question on the same note. Maybe some people say Jesus turned water into wine. Why didn't he turn water into milk or juice? So other people say that alikuwa na options ni venye hiyo time hakukuwa na drinks kama KC, konyagi, so is it that the people are this generation watu wana overdo or they're trying to justify their sins? What would you say about that?
When you are thinking in that line, it's like you're saying Jesus was creating, was giving us direction that we should go in this manner. But that was the only instant where Jesus turned water into wine, and this wine was significant for that wedding. So it is like a special occasion. Like during the Holy Communion, people take church wine, right? That is not like we are being told now we should take communion daily in form of alcohol, that we are using alcohol for that manner. But this was a special wine. This wine was significant for that special occasion, and not us to use it for our own fun, having fun and indulging in such. If whenever you're taking alcohol, I can say that it kind of disrupts your mind and messes up your life. And this is something that wine is alcohol messes your mind, and by messing your mind, it even corrupts your leadership capacity as a person. In as much as people have it and you can say they are fine and everything, but there is something that it really is not happening, and something which is happening which is wrong, because it messes up with your mind, it messes up with your wisdom, and that's why the Bible says that do not take wine, so that do not take alcohol, that it does not corrupt your mind, because your mind is in your mind is where the great things happen, and your wisdom, it corrupts your wisdom, and you should not use that instance where Jesus turned water into wine and say that we should now be celebrating and taking alcohol. Yeah.
So still on wine, yeah, that's nataka my viewers wapate ile kitu ya the Bible does not give a go ahead to be alcoholics and drunkards. In the book of 1 Timothy 5:23, the Bible says that take a little wine. Do not drink only water, but use a little wine for the sake of your stomach. And you find even Christians themselves, the so-called Christians, wanakunywa wanakata because Musa, you know what Musa did. Yeah, so you find them wanakata maji, just quoting the verse. Yeah. So what will you tell them?
Do not take alcohol, and do not use the Bible as the fact that it says take a little alcohol does not mean that now you're celebrating it and taking alcohol. Personally, I believe that in as much as there are some people who are drinking alcohol and you can see their life is just nice, and there are some people who are not taking alcohol and their life is bad, and there are also some people who are taking alcohol and their life is very good. So if I'm not okay, by putting if I'll be giving a leeway, but now I'm saying alcohol is not good. As a Christian, you should not take something that destroys your life. That is like putting fire in the belly and expecting it to burn. Yeah. So in as much as the Bible says that take a little alcohol, emphasis on the little. People don't exaggerate. And by saying that, it's not that I'm saying go and take alcohol. Yeah. You cannot say that you're going to take maybe a few sips, and then you're saying that is the Bible that is telling me to take a little alcohol.
All right. And so Rono, according to you, unaona, is there a second coming of Jesus to save us again, aende ndio arudi tena, ama we just there? Is this generation beyond repair, ama still kuna hope that things will turn to good, to better?
When Abraham was negotiating with God, I can say that was the role of intercession. God was to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, but now because of the presence of Abraham, Abraham who was righteous, God is speaking to Abraham, and Abraham is trying to reason out with God, and they narrow it down to if there is one righteous person, are you still going to destroy the city? And God says that if there is one, then I'm not going to destroy it. Mm-hmm. In as much as we are corrupt, the Bible says that in as much as your sin may be as red as scarlet, I'll turn it as in white as snow. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing which is beyond repair, because if you yourself as a Christian, and that is what I term the remnants, if the remnants decide to make themselves available to change and to make themselves available, because the Bible says that if any vessel cleanses itself, God is ready to use it. So if I cleanse myself right now, if I cleanse myself and seek the Lord daily concerning it, praying for people, then this generation is not broken beyond repair. Broken crayons still color. So there is hope in us, there is hope in this generation, there is hope that God can shift things, that can turn things around, because by virtue of one righteous person, then that is enough for God to save Kenya, to save this generation.
Yeah. And so another question, our churches today, very corrupt, very money oriented, and that's why unakuta a lot of generation, a lot of youth in this generation wamekuwa like they no longer want to hear about church. Reason being, our pastors, our ministers wamekuwa money oriented. They're doing some things that are so evil that you wouldn't expect from a minister. So what advice would you give the youngins about identifying the right minister, rather the right preacher to listen to?
It is so unfortunate that it is whatever you say that it is true. Indeed, in this generation, we have churches which are preaching, but now there's the issue of greed, there's the issue of not maybe we are saying corrupt gospel. But one thing that I can say is that for you to identify your church, it takes more than you identifying a church, because you can if you are a Christian, if you are saved, we are living in a generation whereby if people come to church, then will they find the facility to accommodate them? If people are getting saved, will they find facilities to accommodate them? And by facilities, I do not mean the buildings, but I mean people who are ready to walk with them through the journey. And the first step of, I can say, identifying a place where you can grow, it's more about growth than church. Because church, if you are growing spiritually, then that is enough for you. But you need a place to grow. You cannot grow alone. So what I can advise is that if you've grown and you are praying to God connects you with the right people who are going to push you and catapult you to your destiny. Because if you go by your own wisdom, then you are bound to fail. But if you rely on God, to show you the way, to show you the best church that you can go to, if you believe, then God is going to direct you accordingly and to where you go. So get a group, get people whom you know they are not perverted. Get people whom you know that they are going to walk with you in this journey. Somebody who can accountability partners, and then now you can journey with them, and you will get attached to the right community of believers, and that is how you're going to grow and eventually be a strong Christian.
Wow. So So at least we have gotten a view of kuna remnants, people that they are still, that people that still believe in God and have adhered to His word. And thank you very much for being one of them. Thank you very much for coming to this show. So what's your parting shot as far as this story of this topic of remnants is concerned?
I can say that let us take action. Let us be responsible for our actions, because in as much as God says that He has given you life and death, He goes on further and says that choose life. So let us choose life, and let us choose to walk in the path that has been set for us, because it is there. And let us join the remnants and be part of the greater community that God has saved. Yeah.
And so where can people find you in social media platforms?
Amazing. You can on Instagram at situni.jr, and that is it.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Moses Rono for you. Make sure to subscribe at Vibes on Vibes Show. It's your boy Frankie Prince serving you good vibes, positive vibes, and everything nice. Till next time, make sure to comment, subscribe, share, keep the conversation going.